Welcome, guys, and I'm here again to talk about Arsenal, to talk about the latest match, and to reflect upon where Arsenal are sitting in relation to the other rivals chasing this Premier League title. So let's start, people, with the latest situation. So Arsenal have just beaten Fulham 2-1 yesterday, and it was a really fighting victory. It was a match that required Arsenal to show resilience, to show fight, to show that ability to bounce back from adversity, from being behind in the game. And Arsenal passed the first test and they came through as 2-1 winners. So Fulham take the lead on roughly 55 minutes. Mistake from Gabriel in the centre of defence. He receives the ball from Saka, so Saka plays it across the area. Gabriel controls it and he's put under pressure by Mitrovic, Fulham's star striker. Mitrovic retrieves the ball from Gabriel and finishes the shot. Then Arsenal respond pretty quickly. So 8 minutes later, Saka plays a lovely ball into Martin Odegaard, who has a shot from just outside the box. It gets deflected, just goes past Bernd Leno in the Fulham goal. And then the winner came in the last 5 minutes, so 85 minutes played. A corner kick for Martinelli. Leno comes to try and claim it, doesn't quite connect with his punch. The ball ricochets off William Saliba's back and Gabriel is able to pounce on the loose ball and prod it home from about 2 yards. So really positive moment there, guys. Like a real outward pouring of emotion as well. When Arsenal got that winning goal, you could see they all congregated over in the corner of the pitch, celebrating with the Arsenal fans. Zinchenko, who wasn't fit for this game, but he travelled with Arsenal. He came over and started celebrating with the Arsenal players, and you could really see the togetherness and the sense of recognition of the moment that Arsenal had just really shown something at an important point of the season, albeit only the fourth match and there's so much more to be played, but at least Arsenal showed right there that they have really salvaged an extra 2 points when it could have easily ended in a 1-1 draw, because Fulham defended resolutely. So it was very impressive from Arsenal. And individual performers, people, I was so impressed with the captain, Odegaard. This guy is stepping up to the plate, people, this season. I've been really impressed with how he's just orchestrating everything. He's instigating all of Arsenal's moves. Every attack Arsenal made in the game against Fulham seemed to come through Odegaard, and he was appearing in very different places on the pitch. So sometimes you'd see him come deep. Sometimes you'd see him push wide, particularly onto the right-hand side to retrieve the ball, and occasionally he would pass sideways, but a lot of his movements were forward movements, and he was playing a lot of progressive passes. There was one towards the end, absolutely artistic pass over the top. He spotted Eddie Nketiah making a run, and he's made a high ball over the Fulham defence, and Nketiah has brought it down really well, had a right-footed shot when maybe he could have gone with his left foot, but it was all done through understanding between Odegaard and Nketiah and an awareness from Arsenal's captain about when to play the pass and the weight of the pass and the trajectory. It was all perfect, and I really feel, guys, that Odegaard is becoming a very pivotal player for Arsenal. And if Arsenal are to maintain our push for top four, if we have any semblance of trying to stick with the lead pack in this title race, then Odegaard is showing he maybe has the profile, he has the personality to really spearhead this run this season, guys. I'm so impressed with Odegaard. I really think he's growing into himself, and he's scored 3 goals now this season. He looks like he's relishing the captaincy role. I love when he scores his goals, how he always rallies around his teammates. So often he's the guy geeing up his teammates after he's scored. So I really respect how this guy is growing, and his relationship with Mikel Arteta, the manager, looks so strong. They were really embracing at the end, and you can really tell that they're feeling each other's journeys, where they're both almost living through the other, and they're sensing that this is a really important position that they both have in terms of their respective roles as leaders within the Arsenal camp. So full marks to Odegaard, guys. Also, as we've touched on in previous videos, the defence is looking really assured. It's looking very together and in sync. So we've got Ben White is slotting in at right back really well. Very pleased with Ben White. He's getting forward. He's aware of the passes. He's retrieving and combining really well in terms of the interplays with Saliba and Gabriel, generally speaking. William Saliba as well, people. He's just shown immense composure and just a really seamless adjustment into that defence. And I just feel so much more relaxed and at ease when I see Saliba in the defence and he's on the ball. You just don't feel like he's going to make a mistake. He's just very reliable at the back, in the back line. So super pleased with how the defence is looking. And Ramsdale had a great game in goal. He pulled off a couple of clutch saves, one from Mitrovic in the last 15 minutes and another one from Chalobah, who'd just come off the bench for Fulham. So Ramsdale really showing a lot of personality, and I love how he responds to the mood and the atmosphere of the occasion. So he'll kind of give this celebration. So I remember one moment where I think he's made a save and the ball's then come out, and maybe Ben White has made a block and the ball's then gone out of play, and it's gone in Arsenal's favour. So Arsenal have won a goal kick as opposed to a corner being given for Fulham. And Ramsdale's up and about. He's really pumped up. He's geeing up the crowd. He's like, yeah, we've won the goal kick. Little details, people, where, yeah, it's only a goal kick, but you've prevented a corner. You've prevented another potential assault or attack on your goal. And it's really great. I'm really happy with Ramsdale's performance yesterday. And moving into the attack, Jesus didn't get on the score sheet, but he was lively as ever. He was pressing, he was making runs, he was creating space, he was having little shots. He didn't really connect with a shot, and there was one moment where he did have a chance, but it was perhaps a bit too close to Leno with his shot. But generally speaking, Jesus has added immense energy, quality and combination play to Arsenal's forward line. And Martinelli, Saka had a better game today. He's been a little bit quieter than maybe we've come to expect from a player of such quality, but I still think he had a very solid game, Saka. He was making runs. He set up the goal for Odegaard a couple of times. He was getting inside the box, and it looked as if the moment had just opened up for him, he could have been in, but the moment didn't quite fall for him yesterday. But one thing about Saka, he never gives up. He keeps trying. So yeah, guys, so just to round up, that was a wonderful performance for Arsenal. Leaves us in a really positive spot in the league table, and we're still top of the league. We're top of the league with an unbeaten record, 100% win record, and long may it continue, guys. I'm really happy with how things are progressing with Arsenal's league form. So we've got Aston Villa coming up next, guys. Let's hope we can maintain this form moving forward, and then it's the big one at Old Trafford against Manchester United. How are Arsenal going to respond under the pressure? We've often struggled when we go to Old Trafford. Hopefully this time we'll be that little bit more prepared with our tails up, hopefully off the back of a win against Aston Villa and 5 straight wins in the league. How good would that be to go to Old Trafford top of the league? It just means we can go there with a little bit more confidence, spring in our steps, and throw it down to United. I genuinely think so. I watched the match Man United's match against Southampton, and I just feel like United are still finding their identity. They're still getting used to the new manager, Ten Hag. They were solid. They did look solid at the back. I thought Varane and Martinez struck up a good partnership, and obviously Casemiro is a very high caliber signing for Man United. He's going to really help the midfield. Eriksen was pinging passes around. Sancho is getting on the ball. Fernandes scored. So I feel United are in a solid spot. They're not firing on all cylinders, so it's not going to be an easy game. And of course, it's Villa first, so we can't look past Villa as a collective. But when that United game does come around, it won't be an easy game. You feel like Ten Hag is getting the structure and the tactics how he wants it. So that won't be easy, people. And in terms of the title race as a whole, it's way too early to even think of it as a title race. Of course it is. We're only 4 games in. But we are seeing that other teams are also starting to show their muscles and really demonstrate why they are going to be serious forces to be reckoned with. Not least Manchester City, coming back from 2-0 down against Crystal Palace, Erling Haaland hat-trick. And they've got that ability, even if they're 2-0 down, and they've got, let's say, 30 minutes to go, they can just ratchet it up a notch and just go through the gears and just pull away effortlessly. And that's exactly what they did. They really just took the game away from Palace in the blink of an eye, and they've got that in their locker, Man City. Although they are looking a little bit shaky and sloppy at the back at times, a little bit too maybe complacent sometimes, like with their defending. And I think that's something that they've got to look at, because they're not going to come back from 2-0 down every single time, because we saw against Newcastle they were 3-1 down. Here 2-0. Okay, they've gotten away with it against Palace. They didn't fully get away with it against Newcastle, hence why they dropped 2 points and Arsenal were top of the table. So Manchester City have got areas to look at. What about the others? Chelsea, they showed a little bit of steel yesterday. They had a player sent off, Conor Gallagher, but they were still able to hold off. Who were they playing? They won 2-1 against Leicester. They were still able to hold off Leicester. Raheem Sterling scoring a couple of goals and looking really ambitious. He's looking motivated and inspired, almost like he's got a point to prove to Man City that he wasn't happy with how he was treated by presumably Pep, not being given enough game time and being phased out at a time of his career where he's reaching the peak of his powers. So it does feel a little bit strange that he wasn't all of a sudden flavour of the month towards the end of his time at Man City. So I do feel like Sterling has a point to prove. Let's see. And of course, Liverpool 9-0 against Bournemouth. That was an emphatic statement, and it did highlight that Bournemouth are going to have a long, hard season. I think I struggle to see how they don't get relegated now. And I know it's very early to say that, but I just look at Bournemouth and I don't really feel like they have a threat or a system or a way of playing that's going to pick them enough points up. If you look at other teams that have really shown why they're elevating themselves in the Premier League and are in no danger of getting relegated, you can pick out a style of play. So let's say Brighton, they've really come up strong under Graham Potter, 10 points from the first 4 games. And part of the reason is the style of play that Potter is introducing. You can see the possession-based football, the 1-2 touches. Everyone really lays it off quick, and they're very technically gifted and very, very fast in just how they link it. And sometimes it can blow the top teams away. Like they beat United last year and this season. They beat Arsenal and Tottenham away last season. They're a very good team, Brighton. But you look, that's just an example to show how maybe Bournemouth don't carry that same tactical ability to impose their game. They look a little bit vulnerable, but in terms of Liverpool, you feel like that could kickstart them. That could really get their engines moving. And if they do get on a run, Liverpool, they will be there or thereabouts. And yeah, once they get their players fit, Thiago, Jota, Nunez comes back from injury. A couple of the defenders also, Kanate and Matip, they're going to be back, you feel. I think Jurgen Klopp's really got into them since the last game against Man United and said, look guys, we need to get going fast, otherwise this leads that potentially Man City, mainly Man City, but also teams like Arsenal are going to amass over us. It could get serious. So Liverpool are up and running. You feel like the season's properly kicking off now. Long may it continue, guys. It's a bumper week to come. Obviously, the midweek fixtures followed by the weekend action. So 2 matches still to come this week for each team. Obviously, the teams that haven't even played this Sunday have got their match this weekend as well. So, guys, really interesting. But just to conclude on Arsenal, super happy, guys, with the result. Super happy with the performance. and things are looking good. Arteta is looking happy. He's looking like things are going according to plan. It doesn't look like there are any issues in the background preoccupying him, maybe like there was last season. There were a few things going on in the background. It kind of feels like he's aired out a few of those issues that were maybe weighing heavy on his mind, and now he just looks fresher. He looks positive. He's vibrant. He's buzzing on the touchline. He always has, but especially now, he just looks bang up for it. Yeah, he's got a look in his eye that suggests he believes that things are clicking, and I think the fans are responding to that. I think the fans think everything is clicking and everything is falling into place. So let's see, people. Long may it continue, and yeah, we'll be back for more analysis and discussion, guys, of all the games as they come, and at any points we pick up, we'll keep the conversation flowing. But yeah, hope you're enjoying the Premier League, people, and as always, keep the dialogue coming. Any comments you've got about anything we've said here in the video, or anything more generally about the Premier League, I love the conversation, guys, so keep up the dialogue. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of the action, and I'll catch you on the other side. Peace.